My family asks me to make them this sourdough discard pizza all the time, but this time was my very first time making it upside down on the griddle. The sourdough crust recipe comes from Tastes of Lizzie T, and it's super easy to make. You just mix together all of the crust ingredients, and then you knead it for 10 minutes, and then let it rise somewhere warm for 30 minutes. I normally make this one large rectangular pizza, but today I decided to make 2 smaller round pizzas. I figured they'd be a little bit easier to flip over on the griddle. Once I had my crusts form, I heated up my oil griddle, and then I started with just one pizza crust because I really wasn't sure how well this was gonna go. On the other side of the griddle, I started with pepperoni, and then I sprinkled on some freshly shredded mozzarella cheese, and then lastly I spread on some pizza sauce and then let it cook for a few minutes. At this point, I checked the crust and it was looking so good, so I placed it on top of those toppings and then let it sit for a few minutes before flipping it over. It worked out well and it was looking delicious, so I decided to go ahead with the next While that was cooking, I walked out to my garden to grab some fresh basil, and then I finished off that first pizza by adding on some crushed red pepper flakes, oregano, basil, and balsamic glaze. Look at how amazing that looks.
Perfectly done.
Now let's finish this second pizza. I oiled up that side of the griddle, put down my pepperoni, and then this time I added on some banana peppers. Then I did half of my shredded mozzarella cheese, followed by some fresh mozzarella pearls, the pizza sauce, and then lastly, the rest of the shredded mozzarella cheese. I thought maybe if I added the cheese last, it would stick better to the pizza crust, because honestly, flipping it over is the scariest part of this whole thing. And I was right, it did stick better and it was easier to flip. I'll be making our pizzas like this for the rest of the summer. It was so delicious. Everyone had seconds and Derek ate 4 pieces.